excuse. My cat was trying to eat my fish. So, yeah. Apologize, but hey, I'm here now. So what we're going to be working on today is Shimo again, I do say. So we'll be painting this thing a little bit, and unfortunately I'm a little behind schedule per usual. So yeah, I got a couple scenes to basically film out here. What I'll do is basically a bunch of dry brushing. So what that entitles is basically taking probably some of your raw, ugly paint brushes, for lack of a better term, like the ones that you don't really care about too much. Because the rougher it is, almost the better. If you have old makeup brushes, that actually works really well. So basically, use a dirty old brush, get it wet with the color that you want, and then take a vast majority of the paint off, and then just lightly dry brush the top of the thing, which will essentially give you the kind of a rough appearance in nature, for lack of a better term. Basically brings out all the high spots and gives you a little bit more details without having to try too hard. Godzilla, hey, thanks for being patient. I understand I'm a little bit late, which is kind of usual, but Cat was trying to attack the fish, so yeah, I was like, no, Mr. Mittens, you're not allowed to eat those. So, yeah, apologize, but luckily all the fish are okay. Mr. Mitts had a little bit of a stern talking to, and he's in the room. I'm not dealing with him at this point. He's not allowed to be on stream if he's going to be trying to eat my other family members. So, what we're going to be doing is a little bit of dry brushing, so basically, Shimo has her first layer of paint, if you guys have seen the short today. Hey, Kingzilla, thanks for joining. We're going to be doing some dry brushing. So, got a couple other people joining in here. It's okay, yeah, I know you guys are pretty patient and forgiving, I appreciate that. I try my best, and unfortunately my time management skills squeezing in these lives still hasn't reached a peak or pinnacle. Still adjusting, so. OVOLVR. Oval VR, yo. I think I'm saying that right. Apologize if I butcher that. Let's see. Yeah, you were. Yeah, I noticed that you commented on the last short. So yeah, we're going to basically, like this first layer of paint. I'll get you guys a slight better camera angle here. Unfortunately, volume adjustment. Hopefully you guys can kind of hear me still. We had some technical issues with the tablet last time, where it kind of tried falling out of place. So I've made a little bit more things secure, hopefully. But yeah, if I do sound different, using a slightly different microphone than what you guys are probably accustomed to on the shorts, it's, yeah, a nice one. So if I sound different, that's why. But basically, yeah, it's not the best angle, Shimo, right now. But we'll get there. Basically, the blue here, this is all like the first layer. I don't want to adjust it because I have to do a kind of a segment for my scene, but this blue is just all fancy spray paint. I ended up spending probably a little more than I should, but it was the closest color match I could find. So this is like the first layer of paint, and what I'm basically going to do is just lightly dry brush everything, and yeah, essentially at that point that kind of highlights all the high and low spots, because it's obviously not a perfect shape, and that gets you a little bit more detail. Plus we have to add a lot of the like weird colorations, for that lack of a better term, so I'll have to look up at some of my source images, because there's obviously some lighter blues, some pink hues, and a bunch of other colors kind of going on with these crystals, so there'll be quite a bit of dry brushing. Obviously all that won't be on stream, but a chunk of it's going to start today, and then I'll probably do a time lapse before I head to bed, basically. It's okay, it seems. Nuclear dinosaurs and diamonds. It's a good way to sum up, I think, this new upcoming film. Which yeah, I was hoping to have Shimo done by then, but considering it's being released next Easter weekend, I'm both really excited about that and kind of disappointed that I haven't made it. And I also probably should mention before I get too far in the stream, because I almost always do that right at the beginning, the music in the background's all royalty free, and if you want, you can find the links in the post description below. So yeah, there. You can't come after me for copyright claims. I gave you the shout out. So yeah, YouTube, you now know. It's all by the library. Leave me alone. I had some issues with music in the past, can you tell? It's kind of annoying. I think one of my trailers recently got a copyright strike, so I gotta kind of talk to the person about that. It's like, hey, I used your description. I'm not using that song anymore, which is sad, because I kind of like it, because it's hard to find good things to get Godzilla theme, unless you're doing shorts, but I digress. So. Alright, so now I have to work on transitioning scenes because, of course, I'm behind schedule and I had a unplanned nap before the stream, but at least I'm not completely tired. Hey, Sweet Pea. Hello. German Shepherd's joining us today. Hey, want to say hi to everyone on stream? Got a smile for the camera? Holly girl. Hey, why are you writing? Oh, I guess he's gonna be. Oh, there we are. Hi. Yeah. There's that smile. Thought she was gonna be cam shy, but not today, apparently. Could probably make volume adjustments from this, can I? Yeah, hopefully sound quality is okay, guys. Because, yeah, it's kind of bumping the volume in there a little bit, so maybe I'll make some mic adjustments. Probably sounds a little strange, but... Oh, it's a girl, by the way. Holly is a she. So, she's a little butch, which I can understand. She gets mistaken for a boy all the time. That's fine, so... her dad was a police dog, for lack... So, you know... That's why she's so... kind of butch, for lack of a better term. Yeah. It's completely normal, so don't feel bad. She's a girl. Aren't you? Yeah, we're talking about you still. Hi. Oh, girl. I have Holly, or not Holly, my other pug is just kind of chilling out in my bedroom because, oh, it's okay. Yeah, be careful, there's a lot of wires and stuff here. I don't want you to bump the cameras and lights. Yeah. Oh, okay. I turned the volume up again on it. Found where the volume button is, but this clay might not be working as well as I had hoped for, so I apologize if I have to make the odd adjustment here, guys. Okay, I see where it is. Don't want to basically have things end with it kind of falling on the floor, obviously, so, yeah. Just gotta make sure things a little bit more secure before I kind of continue. Hello, Blaze Man! Hopefully you're doing well. Making sure that the tablet's gonna stay in place, I really hope this time. Added some clay to this new tripod setup. It's not really technically a tripod setup, for lack of a better term. It's actually meant for holding your tablet so you can read music or scripts and stuff like that, which it works really well for, but not well for streaming. But I honestly did not plan on using my tablet for this kind of stuff nearly as much, even though the camera quality is probably a lot better than my iPhone. I was hoping to use that because, yeah. But we had some mic problems with the iPhone, so we're no longer using that. I mean, I might try again, but, yeah, it's kind of annoying when you're live and things screw up. You can't really go back and fix it at that point. It's just like, ah, great. So, been choosing reliability, for lack of a better term, but I should probably get some work done here. So, we'll try and switch some camera angles slightly, and then... Oh, you just got 2 dogs today. That's pretty cool. What kind of dogs did you get? What's the dog doing? I like dogs. Dogs are cute. I have a couple. I don't know if you guys can... Yeah, you will be able to probably see them here in a bit. I'll actually do some adjustments so you guys can see what I'm doing. I have a couple stop-motion dogs that I made a couple years ago that kind of represent my own doggos, but obviously not to the T. You can kind of see up by Milton Lewis here, there's a little pug and a German Shepherd in the corner. Those are like the very, very early days of Moose Motion. Back before I actually even filmed any of my projects in that sense, actually, so... kind of strange. Now, going to do a small transition scene here. Basically, what I like to do for a lot of my film projects is kind of have like a chapter segment, if that makes any sense. Like, this is what you'll be witnessing during this part, which I'm sure a lot of you have kind of recognized, so I will do that. Then we can basically continue with the project itself, where I'll be doing a combination of dry brushing. I'm gonna have to look up a bunch of source images though, so that'll be interesting, because I haven't really set in stone what colors I want for this one. Hey Cody, thanks for joining us. Just kind of doing a film transition at this particular moment in time. Camera angles have changed because I think you guys usually kind of like having a better view of all the characters in the background, so we might make a couple more adjustments here in the near future. But unfortunately, my studio's kind of at that awkward stage of chapter transitions. So, uh-oh. Of course, my microphone boom is in the way. Uh-oh. So, yeah, trying to think. Creatively, on the spot, try to get things done fast here. Rather not be in the background, but if it has to be, we will be. It's not that noticeable. I just don't like this dangling wire here, so we'll just kind of throw that aside for now. At some point I need to get a nicer headset for it, but those ones really suck. It always sounds really funny. I kind of hate it. It's like, that sounds like junk. And then I listen to it in reality without the headphones on, and it sounds way better. I'm like, oh, okay, the headphones just really suck. I think after that, though, I don't need too much more film equipment. I would like another pair of lights just to make my life a little bit easier for when I'm doing stop motion projects. Because I have to basically take everything in the studio and then transfer it to where I'm doing stop motion, which is kind of a lot of work. I mean, it's not that much. It's about 20-30 minutes, but I'm productively lazy, so I don't want to have to do that if I don't have to. It's kind of the best way to put it. Sorry for being late. Oh, don't worry about it. I was late to my own stream, so thanks for joining us. Godzilla 950. Just working on a transition scene at the moment, and then we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing today, so mentioned that a few times here, just kind of going to do a couple little test shots before I continue. So I apologize if things look a little strange. Maybe get a better view of what exactly I'm actually doing, so it's a little less boring to watch, but yeah. Had an unscheduled nap today, so at least I'm not tired, but behind schedule, as always. I have to make some lighting adjustments here too. It's a little more difficult when you have this one, just a lot of things to try and focus on at once. Okay. Get to be a cameraman. This is harder to get an angle than I like, I must admit. And a big story, or a big stop motion project. Cool. How many photos are you in, out of curiosity? That's always something I kind of like to do, is do a photo count. Unfortunately, yeah, I was mentioning copyright problems with songs in the past. I used to do the final countdown for all that stuff, which I thought was very appropriate, but they didn't like that so much, so I can't use that song anymore. I don't know why you would make it available in the first place if you're just going to copyright strike me, but whatever. It's just a short, but yeah. Found that annoying because it was very suitable. But I think I got my angles right here, so yeah. A couple other ones here from Blazeman. I'll get to you guys right away. Just bear with me. I'm going to do some filming now. We get the live video while videoing a video. Ugh. Surrounded by cameras, that's how my weekend goes now. So yeah, I usually put this in my mouth because that way I can use both hands to keep things stable. A little trick I learned many years ago, putting the film remote in your mouth. That way I don't have to cut my hands coming in and out of the shot, because that was so annoying. Early stages of editing all this stuff really sucked. I'll put it that way. There's a lot of learning curves, but might take maybe one or two more. see what we got to say here. Unfortunately, my laptop's a little farther away. We just got a few new dogs. Forgot what they are called, but their names are Max and Fan? I can't pronounce that last one. Those are cute names, though. Let's see if I can get it. So, okay. Thors? I can't quite get that. My dogs are usually kind of... Holly's actually named after a carburetor. She's a car part. And Fu just means pug in Japanese, actually. So, Godzilla, thanks for joining us again. Welcome back. I have the remote on, but I don't get batteries. Yeah, I recently had to pick up a bunch of batteries. I think they're just hanging up over there. I have like 2 remotes. One for the tablet here, which I forgot to actually set up before stream. So I'm still going to have that awkward transition of pushing the button, unfortunately, I think. But we'll see if I can get it to turn on. Maybe it'll connect later. But I'll try a couple more scenes here, and then we'll move on to some actual productivity with Shimo here, guys. But fun fact, you also can, if you don't have the remote batteries, you can just use a traditional headset. I should probably mention. You can just use the volume button to actually use that. That's what I used for years for my iPhone, and works the same on the Android. So if you don't have the remote, just use your headset and use the volume button. It's just annoying because then you have to deal with a bunch of wires, but minor inconvenience compared to having a janky camera dealing, right? And then this, before I rant on too much, this phone actually comes with a fancy pen. This is also acts as a remote, which I personally really enjoy. That works great for stop motion. This new S23, not sponsored, is fantastic for that kind of stuff. You have to unlock a couple features that you otherwise normally probably wouldn't have access to. I don't know if this is available on iOS. I know this was a big problem on my iPhone. Let me know if this was a solution that was easy to solve, but I'm not sure if it was. Basically, I would have to set a timer so my iPhone wouldn't actually shut off, because then your camera makes adjustments and it just kind of adds a weird flicker to every scene. With this, I can basically plug the phone in and it never shuts off. So I don't have to worry about it, you know, in between scenes or set a timer on something, so I have to come make sure I push a play button just so it doesn't make those adjustments. I mean, it's not a problem anymore, but it's the, big thing I hated about the iPhone. So I digress. Well, man, probably being a welder full-time for many years has kind of helped teach me how to be a camera guy, because I use the same techniques for like welding to keep myself steady as I do like camera. A little bit the camera is kind of nicer because you can kind of keep yourself more open. Welding, you're just tucking yourself in and trying to keep everything as steady as possible. It kind of sucks sometimes in that regards. Camera work is easier, but I found those two worlds have kind of oddly transferred well enough. Okay, I think I've spent enough time trying to do this. Maybe one more, because that's a little janky. I'm back here next. Proud on that. Sorry for being late. Blah blah blah. I've been working on speak stop motion product. Sorry, I got just scanning through here. I work at 15 FPS. Oh, that's strange. Never tried that. Odd number. I do 2 and 24, so 2 pictures at 24 frames per second. I have cats. One is oh no, you're gonna have kittens soon. I mean, yeah. I don't get me wrong. I love baby animals, but sometimes they're just so much work. So, yeah. I've made sure, I don't want any puppies or things like that. I'll admit, I've had some requests. Can Holly have puppies? I'm like, nope. Mini versions of German Shepherds running around my house. I will have no furniture left. It's gonna get destroyed. So, yeah. Stop motion I'm working on is mostly about Kong and Godzilla. Oh, okay, cool. My dad had some. How many photos are you in? Answer that question. I want to know how many photos have you taken, or if you just kind of more or less like in the animation preparation phases, Mr. Godzilla 950. I think that's probably a better way to put it. Because usually I kind of have that stage where I'm just getting ready for everything. So, sounds like you're kind of at that point. That's no good. Cut. Cut. She's so big, it's hard to get her in frame. Not gonna lie, it's a lot easier too with one of these things now. I used to just have that little pop socket. So I can usually do this in 3 or 4 takes. It took me like 10 or 15 tries sometimes before, so as annoying as that is, it's actually a lot faster than it used to be, guys. So I apologize, I can now get off my old creaky knees. Jeez. Oh. Hopefully she handles the kittens okay, because sometimes when they're really small they can have some issues. But I don't want to I could, yeah. Not on stream. Can't talk about that too much. But hopefully she goes okay. I'm sure she'll be fine. Stop motion, Okay, so she's really young still. Okay, so you mostly prep. Okay, you were in preparation stages, background, done tests. Cool. Well, you have to let me know how that goes. Kind of curious. So, usually peek in. I noticed Claymation Zilla, who is I don't think he's in here yet. Usually he's around on this. Usually on the streams. He does a lot of stop motion. He posted a recent video too. So after you guys are done watching the stream, go check his stuff out, because that video seems to have not gotten a lot of attention, unfortunately, which I feel bad for. I need to go check it out. Give him a thumbs up, because there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. So yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him a lot. He works pretty hard on this stuff. So, yeah, speaking of which, now that I've done my transition scenes, I can probably start actually getting some real productivity done. If you guys do have any questions about monsters, dinosaurs, stop motion, YouTube stuff, I'm more than willing to ask. We don't usually kind of tried setting up themes before in the past, some of these streams where we would have open discussions, but usually kind of just veers way off course. So we'll just see where things kind of go from this point on. I think is kind of going to be the way things are going to work from now on. Fortunately, my throat is starting to get a little parched, and I need to put my rock collection away. And actually, speaking of rock collections, little Easter egg I don't think a lot of people have actually noticed. These are fossils. Most of these are actually like fossils that has an old prehistoric plant in it. Can't remember. I've had this stuff for so long I can't remember exactly where it came from, but that's technically petrified wood, and both these are coral pieces. I used to go fossil hunting a lot as a kid, and probably one of my most prized possession finds was an entire brain coral piece. Like, it was an entire specimen, which was really cool. I apologize if the lighting's a little off. But yeah, it was definitely extremely cool, and unfortunately it's ended up as part of my parents' rock patio, I think, at this point, but so I was remember advocating, going, no, I want that, but oh well. Do you remember me live yesterday? Blue Tiger. I wasn't live. Mary live. Blue, no, not exactly, unfortunately. Oh man, I don't sleep enough, so sometimes my memory's pretty bad. But thanks for tuning in. Say if you've been here on a regular basis, thank you. I appreciate the support. Fortunately, I'm not a thesaurus. I can't remember everybody, so. 950 Zilla. Jacobzilla's back. Back again. Tell a friend. And batteries, blah blah blah. Four-minute stop motion. Oh, wow. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, usually mine are kind of under 1,000. I've had one that really took off. I think it's sitting at like 87,000, but that was mostly because those things were trending. But I think we're gonna basically have a lot more Godzilla versus zombies coming soon. That's probably part of the reason my lighting really stuck here. Sorry, guys. So many things in this video to focus on, but yeah, zombie dinosaurs versus Titans and Kaijus is definitely going to be something I'm going to be primarily focusing on in the near future, as well as a Jurassic Park rated R, and then for the fart jokes, Ignis the Dragon, and yeah, as well as continuing to add to my character ensemble, for lack of a better term. I probably have enough requests to last over a year at this point. It's crazy. Once below 1,000. Oh, that sucks. My best advice to you, 950, is just keep at it. I know it's hard. Like, when I first started this stuff, I used to only get like 20 or 30 views on a lot of my videos. I was doing a really limited niche stuff, so it takes some time. Best suggestion is just kind of stay consistent. The best thing for my channel has been doing shorts on a regular basis. Obviously, that's where I've seen the most growth, and basically just kind of make it so the algorithm can't ignore you. Just be like, pump out something every day if you can. It's kind of like more or less my theme at this point. Blue Tiger. Okay. Kong 2021. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a busy day. Unfortunately, a lot of it's prep work for Shimo with the paint stages, I'll admit. So it's kind of like watching paint dry, and a lot of it's just kind of taking things apart and putting it all back together again. So for those of you who like to try painting, the best way I can describe it, a good paint job on anything, you're probably going to be doing 95 to 90% prep work, and then it's literally for about 5-10 minutes of just that's it. So painting part is way shorter in time frame in comparison to the prep. There's a lot more prep that gets involved, and usually, unfortunately, I don't get a lot of footage on that, but yeah. Are you going to keep the chest blue? No, all that's going to be covered up. Basically, this is just technically her torso. So instead of covering it all up, because it's going to be covered with plasticine clay, I just kind of paint it. So that way, if there's ever a point that her body is kind of like showing a little bit more than it should, it's kind of like a fail-safe, so that way it doesn't look nearly as bad, is kind of the idea. Blue Tiger, when are you trying to do SCP? Oh, okay. Yeah. Actually, maybe next Halloween special I do here. I know that's a ways at this point, but yeah, I'm a huge SCP nerd as well, secretly. So there's an animation that I've kind of done where there's a couple SCPs going at it, where it's SCP-323 and SCP-049 primarily, and I still need to technically finish that whole story up. So after the stream, if you haven't already, check out that animation. It's pretty cool. Didn't get bad in views, but that was kind of before the huge peak in popularity with all these like monsters and dinosaurs, I think. So, but didn't do bad. I definitely didn't do too bad. I think it's probably, if I brought it back at this point, I'd probably get a better response. So my channel's way bigger at this point, as well as obviously you guys are big monster fans. So I would excuse me, I'm gonna have to grab a drink of water here pretty quick. But there's something I would definitely like to do, is kind of do a crossover between SCPs and Kaijus. I know that's kind of a weird thing to do, but they're all monsters if you think about it. So yeah, let me know if that's something you guys wouldn't mind seeing. I think with the Witch Doctor in particular, I can definitely squeeze him in there a couple times, because he does some creepy things. He's one of my favorite SCPs, by the way. So maybe that can be a discussion in the chat. What's your favorite SCP? There's thousands, so that's a unlimited discussion. I should probably get the background music going again here, and then drink a little bit of water before my voice gets too parched, because I'm not used to talking so much at this point. So bear with me, guys. Got to roll away here for a second. Still haven't done any dry brushing, and I'm 30 minutes into the stream. But I must admit, I do quite enjoy actually being able to, you know, kind of hang out with you guys on hand, sort of speak behind the camera, obviously, but it's nice to answer your favorite. What is an SCP? Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll give you a little bit of education, but yeah, I enjoy hanging out with you guys. It's a lot of fun having these kind of discussions, what you guys want to see, as well as monsters and dinosaurs and stuff like that, because where I'm from, there isn't too many people that are unfortunately into that stuff, so... Shy Guy 096. That's a good choice. He's definitely one of my favorites. He is creepy, but I think that's honestly why I'm probably a huge fan of him, so... anyway, so to answer your question, Godzilla 950, what is a SCP? So SCP is an acronym, obviously, that stands for Secure, Contain, and Protect. So basically, SCP is a foundation, or a make-believe foundation that's essentially containing monsters from all over the world and strange anomalies. It could be either a monster like the Witch Doctor or the Shy Guy in the background, a Wendigo. It could even be an inanimate object. Basically, it could be anything that basically possesses some kind of unnatural ability that we can't exactly explain. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. That's really a rough thing about it. Obviously, it's completely fictitious. Essentially, what formed SCPs is a bunch of creepypastas, and then a bunch of authors have added into their own lore, so there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of SCPs at this point. So it's really cool. So that's definitely a rabbit hole that I really recommend. You'll have a lot of fun. I love SCPs. SCP-96, yeah, good choice. Yes, pretty cool. The foundation that holds monsters? Oh, yes, okay, yeah. I see Blue Tiger's kind of trying to answer your question. That's actually a very good summary. He almost did a better job than I did. But, yeah, like... Basically, it's a foundation that holds them, and they give them designated numbers where they keep them. So that's why there's a huge number system. It goes up to, like, a good example I can think of is 3000, which is SCP God, basically. Then there's SCP-682, which I believe is a zombie crocodile. You probably really get a kick out of that. He is one of my favorites. He's basically a sentient, like, very smart reptile that's ancient, and they basically have to keep him in a constant acid bath because he's so powerful. Something I definitely would like to have at some point. Hasn't been too many requests for that, unfortunately, but I think it would be a really good matchup to have those fight. Him fight Godzillas and stuff like that, because he can just grow to immense sizes. So I might have to make multiple characters of him at that point, like varying growth stages, but really cool. Definitely a rabbit hole that you're gonna love. If you love monsters, you'll love SCPs.
Databricks is on a mission to democratize
yeah.
data and AI for businesses around the world.
Play SCP Shotgun. He's my favorite. Shotgun. There's a shotgun SCP. That's interesting. Does Kiwi?
Here at Databricks, we've got our own way of writing and our own way of doing things. Grammarly allows us to customize the style guide. It allows
Blue Tiger seems to be pretty insightful about SCP, so I'm a little nervous if I screwed it up. Yeah, let me know. It's something I kind of only done a little bit of research on, but yeah. Oh, okay.
It follows me across every single app that I use.
Oh, okay. Play SCP Shotgun. I'm guessing that's a game you're referring to then? Lego Brick Fan. Hello! We're not destroying any Legos today. Hopefully you didn't see part 1 on those. I imagine some of you guys are a little upset about that, but I have to go to Pick a Brick at some point to basically get a bunch of new inventory. I have like a bunch of spare Lego pieces up at the top there. They're basically just like stop motion stuff. It came on Eli Stein.
Having enough money to like take my kids on vacation. I had no idea how to run a business. I didn't know.
Yeah, Thagomonsters. Yeah, that was the discussion last time. Where that basically is derived from a bunch of like it originally was a joke from a comic book strip, which apparently a bunch of paleontologists were a big fan of it, and then they adapted into a scientific term. So, mine's Wendigo, Kong 21. That's very good choice. Honestly, it's probably like the coolest piece of Canadian folklore that we have. Sadly, there's not a lot of really interesting monsters, but I'll admit, like, it's a common misconception that your Wendigo essentially looks like... Can't see mine, so let me do some adjustments. Looks like the typical deer guy with the skull. Let's see if I can actually... I don't know if I want to pick him off the shelf. He is very, very delicate and kind of creepy, just as a heads up. He's got a rod up his butt right now, too, for extra stability. But... yeah, it's a common misconception that essentially you're... I know one of my friends is Negative American. She wouldn't even like me using the word this much. But this SCP, basically it's a common misconception that they have that type of skull, basically. Essentially, it's what a Wendigo would normally be is almost more like a Shy Guy. So, basically, a deprived human that has some crazy powers. And what happened was, there was a movie back in the 70s that was really popular that had a monster that was basically designed like this, and then ever since then it's pretty much been the popular configuration of what a Wendigo would be. So yeah, then the internet got a hold of it and things really changed. But yeah, the original Wendigo is much different. There's actually even like in the early settler days, there's a little bit of Canadian history here, I guess, but in the early days of settlers, there was actually even a court case involving a real-life Wendigo. It's not a pretty story. Viewer discretion strongly advised. The guy did some really nasty things. So, yeah. They're real, so to speak, but not in the sense that the internet has made them out to be. And we'll just kind of put him back up there. What's next? Shy Guy, hello. Mine's Wendigo. I should probably almost bring out Shy Guy too, because I have him. He's not as delicate either. SCP shotgun is 674. Okay. You're gonna have to educate me a little bit on that one. That sounds interesting, because that's something I've wanted to do with a lot of my animations, is add random SCP objects that not everyone's gonna recognize. So that's something I definitely have to do. What is my favorite dinosaur? Hey, Claymationzilla! See, you have a new animation out. Been kind of trying to push people towards that. Hopefully get a couple more views after the stream. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. I'll have to check it out after. I'm excited to see that. Fortunately, I had an unscheduled nap today, so that was late for my own stream. But, yeah, educate me on SCP-674, Blue Tiger O. And yeah, I would like to know more about that interesting thing, because I want to add Easter eggs for that. And my favorite dinosaur is Spinosaurus aegyptiacus. I don't know if I answered that already, but excuse me. The Egyptian spine lizard. Oh no. Ah. Sorry, guys. Oof. Well, thanks for joining us, Mr. 950. We'll see you next time. Apologize for the coughing fit there, guys. Not proud to admit, unfortunately, I am a smoker, so don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you. Crap. Like I have mints. Give me a second. Hey, yeah. I have to just see if I can mute them. I'll be right back. You got coughing fit, sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Hi, how are you? Having a coughing fit apparently, so yeah, that was probably an awkward transition to the stream, sorry. Don't smoke, kids, it's bad for you. Honestly, this is probably a good way to deter me from doing that on a regular basis, because yeah, oof. Something you're not allowed to do on YouTube either, so yeah.
New Cascade Platinum Plus. We've doubled it on grease fight.
Double
the scrubbing pad for a no rewash clean and a cabinet ready shine.
It looks good. Thank you, I appreciate that. I haven't got much done yet. Unfortunately, it's been kind of like talking a bunch about dinosaurs and SCPs, so let me know what your favorite SCP is, guys. There was a shotgun one, though, here that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, I wanted to be a part of the TV show characters, and you... Even if I like the live stream... That's crazy. Yeah, whoa. That's a nasty SCP. Kind of imagine a lot of you have seen this because it was trending on YouTube for a while. It reminds me a lot of the... What the heck is that game called now? A lot of guys, a lot of streamers were playing it for quite some time. Shotgun Roulette, that was interesting. SCP-173. That's a good choice. I actually have one of those. He shows up on my how-to films sometimes, just kind of popping up and around the background. See where he is. There's even actually a tutorial on how to make this little guy. Animations are probably the easiest for him because obviously he just jots around a bunch, but very easy character to make. So yeah, definitely something I would recommend for a lot of beginners. Make your own little SCP-173. Obviously, there's a couple iterations of them that I've seen, but this is probably one of the more simple ones that you can make. Probably play around with him a little bit. Might throw him in. I haven't added him yet to this video. Neither have I added Milton yet. So, hey Kingzilla, yeah, I'm way behind on the chat. I kind of had a coughing fit. Sorry guys, catching up here. We'll blaze through some of this stuff here. Just gonna pages came over again. FBI have some kills, but security with SCP-6. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out that SCP after stream. That seems really interesting. I've never heard of that one. Mr. Blue Tiger O. What else do we got here? We can throat grow. To Thor. Oh, okay, we got some superhero quests. I I could probably at some point. I'll admit I'm not the hugest fan of like any sort of superhero franchises. I kind of think that like it's really oversaturated at this point. Like everyone's just kind of doing it. It would do well from a keywords standpoint, but ignore that. It's not my in case I pass out alarm. 45 minutes in, still haven't done anything. Shoot. But at least we got to answer a lot of questions and hang out here, guys. So this has been a lot of fun so far. But yeah. What's your favorite dinosaur you have made? Which one have? Yeah, that's a good question. Probably the zombie dinosaur, although the T-Rex was kind of a lot of fun, and I would definitely like to make another one. I know that's been requested a couple times. I would like to make a Scotty. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I could definitely rant on about that. Thor, God of War. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd definitely be more willing to do that at that point. Like, the PlayStation character. Yeah, he's cool. Could have him fight a couple, yeah, monsters. That'd be interesting, actually. Gears turning. But, unfortunately, time is a big issue. Why were you coughing? Oh, don't smoke, kids. Smoking is bad for you. I admit I've been a smoker for a few years, so sometimes it happens. Hasn't happened on stream yet. Yeah. Bad for you. Don't do it. What is your favorite dinosaur? Anyway, I should probably get back to you guys here right away. I'm going to do a little bit of dry brushing and educate everybody on how this is done before we get too carried away. But yeah, put my rocks away now. I was talking about those being fossils earlier, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know what dry brushing is, kind of a quick brief over. I did it earlier, but basically you're going to use a nasty, ugly brush, take either some paper towel or a junk cloth, and then just kind of dab the paintbrush in the color that you want, and then wipe a vast majority of it off. Don't use any water, because essentially you just want a very light, dry layer of paint to kind of essentially bring out all the high spots. So, yeah. That is what my plan is, without being too distracted. Blue monster! I have a weird rock shelf under here. So, a collection of fossils and rocks. And two. I'm gonna watch the end when I get to work. Why do I smoke? Dumb decision many years ago. Yeah, you don't even know if I really want to get into that story too much. But unfortunately, I was supposed to be at that one point, and that kid didn't make it. So, yeah, won't digress. That sucked a lot. So, bad point in my life. Picked up that habit out of stress over the whole situation. So, don't do it. Not worth it. But, yeah. Kind of sucked. Wish things kind of turned out different, but life had different plans, I suppose. Anyway, moving on. Do you know Five Nights? Yes, I do know Five Nights at Freddy's. There's been a couple requests for, like, Poppy Playtime and stuff like that, so... yeah, I definitely would kind of like to make some of those monsters and have, like, Huggy Wuggy fight Godzilla, because I think that'd be just kind of a hilarious thing. Probably a limited thing that you would only really ever get to see on YouTube, so to speak. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys would kind of want to see that. I know some of you definitely probably would, but I know those get a lot of attention, so it'd be kind of interesting. I think especially from a stop motion aspect, because I could have a lot of fun with the armature doll creation on those animatronic characters in particular, because I'd be able to add essentially a lot of layers to that character, if that makes any sense. Like basically make a robotic one, then add clay over top of it, and then over time if it gets destroyed, you get to see more and more of the armature. Actually, that's really cool. I like that idea. Maybe after the whole buzz of Godzilla x Kong stuff here and a movie monster fight, we might dive down some of those rabbit holes. Do a little bit of stop motion horror, because yeah, it's fun. Why do I look so tired? Oh jeez. Well, I thought I didn't look that bad. I've been more tired before, but yeah, I don't sleep very much, unfortunately. I had a nap before the stream, so probably why. You end up crashing out just shortly after my shorts post, where I'm like, oh, that was a lot of work. I was hoping to go much earlier live today, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Jacobzilla Moose. Do you see Milton? That's something that he hasn't been spotted for a while, so I mean he's up there. I guess you could timestamp things after. I might give you a shout out in the following video. The thing that's been neglected, although I don't really mention that. So yeah, anyone in the stream, if you spot Milton the Moose, that goofy little character in the background of the how-to tutorial videos, and timestamp correctly when he shows up, you get shout out. So the moose has been loose for some time, so someone go find him. I want to try making stuff. Oh yeah, I miss our class. Our class was a lot of fun. Trying to get through here, guys. Apologize. Alright, copying, blah blah blah. From Kratos requests. Yes, I did do primal stuff. The zombie dinosaurs hanging out right here. There's probably going to be a whole army of them actually at some point, because I want kaijus and zombie dinosaurs kind of fighting, because that was definitely a very successful video. So a lot of you, I think, have probably subscribed from that. I remember I was just like, holy crap, what happened? I was like, I'm not used to seeing numbers like this. Wow, okay. So yeah, that'll be something that I'll probably bring back in the near future here, as well as a bunch of other things. Just bear in mind, this stuff takes a lot of time, and it's not unfortunately my full-time job yet. I would love it to be. At that point, I would definitely have a lot more fun with the creation aspect of things, but we're not there yet. But doing my best. So yeah, primal zombie dinosaurs will get there. I need, whatchamacallit, there's been other requests too for that kind of stuff, but yeah, so gonna play around with some paint. At least try to do a little bit before the stream ends here. So we're gonna do a little bit of a lighter blue, mix in a few different, so that way it gives it a little bit more texture, and probably some pink and purple. This is kind of in the spikes as well, so a decent amount of paint is required for this next step. It's not as easy as spray painting, unfortunately, which is pretty much what I've done for most of this project at this point. If I can, I usually just spray paint everything, because it just makes it a lot easier to do. Because, yeah, it's a lot faster to just go psh. But like I stated before, prep work is very important when you're doing that stuff, because otherwise it will turn out really bad. But either way, it's a lot faster than painting everything by hand. So now I'm just trying to find a purple somewhere in my painting inventory over here. Hide and seeker. Aha! Okay. So once you have all your colors, usually you probably want to do a reference image, but I'm just kind of gonna fake it for this next little bit, to be honest. Then I'll get back to you guys in the chat here. probably just gonna start with this blue heaven, as it's called, a baby blue, because it looks fairly cold in color, and I have a lot of it, and that's been sitting around for quite some time. So I see Toothless in the back. Yes, Toothless is an old character of mine. I made probably about 4 years ago now. Been meaning to kind of bring more dragons into the equation, but yeah, cool. Definitely some of my less great animations. They're a little janky. That was back when I used 3 and 30 FPS, and it was not that good. Don't use that. I mean, they're not terrible, but you can, yeah, I've definitely come a long ways from where I am now. Well, happy early birthday, Blue Tiger O. I see Toothless in the back, blah blah blah. Don't you also try doing... I think it will be between 10. I'm not sure what you mean by that exactly. Frame rate stuff, probably. That's what you're getting at, I would imagine. But yeah, dry brushing. Neat. I don't get distracted easily. Blue car. Or blue monster. So, strategy behind blue brushing. Blue brushing. Oh god. I'm not tired. Dry brushing. Yes, we are using blue. But, basically, trick here. You don't need much. Just dabble your ugly brush. Get things a little wet. Then take a vast majority of it off. This is a common technique amongst a lot of like D&D model makers. So yeah, you just basically wipe away a vast majority of the paint that you put on. So you're just left with this nice dry, faded layer, for lack of a better term. And then you just lightly... I have to take a little bit more off, actually. That's a big thing you kind of really have to be careful with in your dry brushing, is that it's that fine line of having too much and too little. And you want to have very, very little. And then just lightly kind of like, it's almost, I kind of wish I was a makeup artist. I am not, obviously. But you just lightly apply... Well, you can't really see what I'm doing here. I'll get things a little closer. You just lightly apply that faded layer of paint to essentially give it more of a rough texture, or more... As I spill the paint everywhere. More faded look. Put your lids on, people. But at least I can now just use that for dry brushing. Making a mess of my studio, oh god. Gross. Okay, cool. Made some modern art this stream on my floor. Fuck. Apologize for the bad language, but yeah, oops. Lid's now on. Okay, I'll get to you guys right away here. I got a mess to clean up now. Great. I don't want paint dried on. Get to see all the screw-ups live. Woo! Behind the scenes, loose motion. I like to paint my floor. Good reason I keep this stuff to only one part of my house, although I kind of want to expand my studio into my living room, so that'll be interesting. I'll paint the floor there too at some point. Yeah. Careful, kids. Maybe get trays for this stuff. Parents might get annoyed otherwise, but anyway. What I'm essentially doing for the dry brushing technique, so you get a slightly better view here. Basically, just take your dry brush very, very lightly. Kind of like you're powdering your nose for you ladies out there. I'm probably butchering that technique in all honesty, but I would imagine it's very similar. You're just kind of like lightly skimming it over, just getting all the high spots. So yeah, that's what we're basically doing, and I'm going to be doing several layers of that with different variants of colors to give it more texture and vibrancy. Then once all of that is done, basically I clear coat everything to kind of protect that layer of paint. So, okay, now that I've cleaned up my mess for the most part, yeah, for the most part, what do you guys got here? Primal stuff. Want to see another, that'd be fun. Yeah. It'll become soon, not sure when, but I definitely have a couple plans for, yeah, more zombie dinosaur fights. Or more movie monster fights. So, something to look forward to. Shimo and Godzilla will be facing off pretty soon, but I'm kind of waiting for the movie to come out for a little bit of added inspiration. I need sleep. Yeah, we're probably going to cut soon, so yeah. Have a good night. Sleep well, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Imagine, yeah, you kind of popped in right when I was trying to clean up my mess, so sorry. Sleep well, Blue Tiger. Yeah, I should probably just started this a little earlier. Shoot. Okay. Nice. What else do we got here? Kong 2021. I'll try doing. Oh. Warbat. That's actually been requested quite a few times. I want to make one of those. It'll be fun. But I think Titanus Doug has taken the lead because there's a lot of Titanus Doug fans. I don't even want to mention the name too much because then people are going to be like, hashtag Team Doug, 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 Doug. It's like, no more. Thank you, but no. Stop. Can't keep that many points for one monster. And when will be the next time I'm going live? Tomorrow, probably. I'm hoping a lot earlier. I'm not sure when exactly, but yeah, keep your post notifications turned on because I'll admit that's one thing I kind of struggle with is keeping a steady schedule. I'm all over the map, but life kind of gets in the way of stuff at the moment. So I will be tomorrow. Not sure when. Maybe midday. So 12 to 11 o'clock EST. Hopefully, depends how much work I get done on the dry brushing here. Got a bunch of time lapsing to do still. So yeah, use some of the paint that I've spilt here. But yeah, I will be live tomorrow, hopefully at an earlier time, so that way you guys can hang out much earlier. I might keep it a little bit longer than normal too, so that way we can have a little bit more open discussions. But what I should be doing at that point, because okay, kind of give a briefing what you guys will see on the upcoming short too, is once this is all done and clear coat's on, basically, God, it's getting paint everywhere. This is not turning. I don't even know if I should shut off the camera right now with all this paint on my hands. Might have to wait for it to dry. Might be stuck here. Anyway, once all this dry brushing is done, essentially I can clear coat everything. So that means disassembling the entire monster again. And which, I mean, sounds like a bit of a task, but all of his legs do pop out pretty easy right now. It is a lot of work. It takes about an hour and to take them apart and put them back all together again. And once all the dry brushing's done, clear coat's on, we can basically start sculpting this thing and we'll see how big it gets. What clay do I use? I use a combination of clay, I do say. Usually this stuff, like right now it's painted, it's blue. I use oven baked clay. I'll just grab the box to make things really easy because I recommend this stuff a lot. Sculpey, this stuff's great. You can buy it in boxes. I actually buy like 8 pounds at a time. Stuff works awesome. You can bake it over and over again. The only thing that will basically happen is it might burn. It won't actually like crack or anything like that, which is a problem with some of the cheaper product out there. So it's worth the extra money. Should mention, not sponsored. Every time I talk about them, I always am like, not sponsored, which I imagine if it gets a little old. But hey, I would like a sponsorship, guys, if you are paying attention. Either way, yeah, that stuff works great. So Sculpey oven baked clay is essentially what makes the bones. Armature wire makes the joints and the skeleton. And then what actually is the flesh is... I don't have any of that actually in a product. Stay close to the mic. Is Craft Smart Plasticine clay. So you can buy a lot of this stuff in basically beginner packs of huge, and I probably have more clay than some of the art stores where I'm from. But this stuff does work really great. I did try some other name brands recently. I can't remember where it is though. A little more expensive, but it cracked more. This Craft Smart stuff works a lot better for claymation, if that makes any sense. It's a little more flexible and can be a little, more oily sometimes, so hit and miss. Hopefully that helps. I know it's a common question, but you could always, if you want like more information, I usually do like good detailed descriptions on everything that I use, the tools and stuff like that, at the build rundowns on all of my sculpting tutorial videos. And I've been playing this stuff for like over 25 years, so yeah. Not formally educated, but done a lot of trial and error over the years. I might actually have to get a slightly smaller brush for this too, because this is not working out the way I wanted it to. Slightly better view for you guys. Don't want to get too far because I need to save some of this footage for the actual video. So far it's all been streamed. And making a mess. My dry brushing technique has gone very, very wet. Yeah. Oh god, okay, I'm just... No. Start over. Yeah, definitely. What you can do too is you can actually at people on YouTube quite frequently. That's happened a couple times here, and it's always made me smile. I think it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I had a kid make a replica Spinosaurus. That was really cool. It was really interesting seeing him go over the tutorial and how he made it and stuff. So yeah, definitely do that. I would like to see your Warbat. I know that's been requested here a few times, so I need to make a King Kong for that one in particular, obviously, so. But I'll do a little bit more dry brushing, and then I'll probably call it quits for the stream, so that way, hopefully I can be on at an earlier time tomorrow. So, yeah. Keep your guys' post notifications on. It's the best way to kind of stay informed with my messed up schedule. About the only thing I can kind of really keep consistent or guarantee consistency on is my shorts. But even then, sometimes I pass out, so. 5 p.m. EST every time. No free publicity, sir. Yeah. It only took us about an hour to get into actually doing some work, but that's how you dry brush. The longest tutorial on dry brushing ever. Oh, got a new person joining in. The awesome Kaiju party? Wow. I'm just gonna call you The Awesome. That seems like a good compromise, Mr. Awesome. But hello, thank you for joining us. I appreciate the nice compliment. Cool, caught up. So yeah, I think I've done enough painting on myself as well as everything else that I wasn't really supposed to, unfortunately. So I think at this point, it's probably a good idea to call it kind of quits, guys, unfortunately. It's kind of getting late. It's now 10 p.m. here, so I know a lot of you are from other parts of the world that's usually a little bit more later. Time zone stuff can be a little confusing. I haven't quite adjusted to that all yet, but we'll be live tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be sculpting a little bit more, and I'm a little more productive and not making messes and painting my floor so much. But yeah, so, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button as hard as a kaiju. Comment below what you think of the project, share it with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if you can. You tell I said that a lot in my life? Jesus. Anyway, that's enough from me. Till next time, take it easy, and have a good night, guys.